Welcome back to Never Famous. Has wokeness gone too far? Find out today.
All right, so we're back into another one. And so I wanted to react to this because it's just an interesting one, man. This is an airport employee goes viral after threatening to kick out a transgender person.
No, by misgendering a person. Not,
And no, I think he threatened to remove them or something.
yeah. What I'm saying is, but the person that he misgendered the person.
All right, so let's just watch this.
It's nothing to do with trans, nothing.
Let's just watch it, yeah, and just get a reaction.
He like Michael Carter Williams in the face.
About when an adult employee misgenders you intentionally.
While he's talking, you're talking.
You just misgendered me again.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Gotcha.
Both of you have.
Sorry.
Wasn't intentional, but if you want to take it personal, that's also.
Well, she.
So, question, because this is always interesting. What is the result that you won after somebody apologizes? What do you want them to do beyond that? Like, what else can they do? Like, I get it. Yep, they made the mistake. They misgendered you. They get it. I get that part. You call them out on it. They apologize and they say sorry. And you can even see at one point he said he kind of like, he's conflicted in his mind. Because I like, to some people, this shit is not normal and they're like everyday speak. So I understand that they made a mistake. It's part of it. But he apologizes and then you continue to be like condescending or passive aggressive with your tone. What do you want him to do next? What do you want him to do? Get down on one knee and start begging or some shit?
Probably get him on one knee if he wants something else.
Yeah, probably.
Did do it intentionally twice.
You're talking to me too.
You said she and then you said he.
You're being condescending, and if you want to continue, I have Port Authority escort you out the building right this moment. If you want to play that game with me.
Okay.
Would you like to continue 3 days before Christmas? I really don't mind.
I'm good. I'll just put this on.
He said, okay, real soft. He got right down. He said, oh, hold on. And you know what I thought was funny about this story, though? Because I'm like, yo, boy, energy. Like, he was like, he gave him the energy where, like the business, like, yo, like, but I'll fuck you up in his jaw. Like, he gave him the, like, give me, bajalado. And then I was like, yo, this is at LaGuardia Airport.
Like right now, honestly, like this is when you're dealing with like a disgruntled customer. Like they're being an asshole. So sometimes you have to be an asshole back.
Yeah.
Like they're like, this is kind of like, oh, I'm the customer, so I'm always right. And you kind of like pushing the buttons. And like I mentioned, like you can see the employee was like, she, like he got conflicted and like, I don't think he was intentionally trying to offend. And then it kind of got to the point, it's like, oh, you want to be an asshole about this? I can turn it up and be an asshole right back. Which, if we want equality, this is what you get. Because I think if this would have been any other customer and they trying to be an asshole about trying to get an upgraded seat or some shit, this is probably the same energy he would have given them right back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think right now this was a misgendering. Like, there was a misgendering aspect that he did. But after he apologized, what do you want him to do? Like, how do you expect him to do it right? And this reminded me, I don't know, have you seen that video that went viral like a month or two ago of there was this girl that just kept going into restaurants and shit and just literally baiting people to misgender so that they can be called out?
Nah, I've never seen it. That's the type of shit that I try my hardest to avoid. Cause that's the type of shit that just like annoys the heck out of me. But even the way that they titled that, they just titled it like on some clickbaity things I've been misgendered.
So I'm just gonna play this one. This is like a couple minutes.
Sorry, I can't really see.
It looks like he's having a nice feast.
She, her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
But it was not all good.
Hi. I use she, her pronouns. I'm not sir. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Okay. The Sweetwater starts at okay. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It's just always like a knife. It always hurts every single time. I was wondering if there's a manager I could talk to about something that happened. Yeah, I was called sir. Oh, okay. It just really sucks every time it happens.
Yo,
I don't need to be called ma'am.
Yo, that's like that's the type of shit where it's like yo, you really like playing with people's livelihood now, like on some shit where like I guess to me it doesn't feel like a knife in the heart if somebody calls me whatever they want to call me. But I guess I'm comfortable about. I don't know. But I don't feel that way. So it's different for me. I can't understand that feeling. But I think that also like sometimes we have to be like human. We got to be realistic about certain shit.
Yo,
We
like
have to live
there's
in the real world. Like you really like you could be possibly affecting this person's life over them making a mistake and immediately apologizing. Immediately,
that's what I
like
mean.
I'm so sorry.
Like, what do you want them to do? You want them to beg? You want us like it seems like you want them to have a repercussion. And honestly, in day-to-day life, every human being probably gets something that they may not like being called and don't even realize it. Or they don't make a big deal about it because they realize this is becoming a big deal because you're making it a big deal. Like honestly, after that person said sorry to you, next time around they might have came in and said it correctly, however you want them to be treated. You didn't even give them an opportunity to correct whatever you considered to be a mistake while they were serving you. But like, you know how many instances I've been around and I'm in places where maybe somebody I'm not comfortable, I don't know well enough, maybe they call me bro or something, and I'm like I don't know you like that. But to be honest, I'm not gonna take a moment to be like, yo, don't call me bro. Like it doesn't like I'm not gonna make a big deal out of something that could have taken a second of my life and it's done. Like honestly, this is one of those things that it kind of tells me it's like there's deeper issues mentally, and you're almost going out there seeking these moments to get some form of recognition online or get some form of validation online due to the fact that right now you're propping up your cameras in front of 2 dozen oysters waiting for someone to legitimately come and misgender you so you can call them out and have them on camera, and then you can post this on TikTok and have this moment of where you can virtual signal of look how I call this person out and possibly cost them their job, even though they immediately apologize and they didn't do something that was being an asshole about it afterwards. Like honestly, sometimes I'm like, what the guy did at the airport is what probably some of these people need to experience and be like, yo, if you're an asshole, you can be treated like an asshole. But we've come to a point in society where we honestly tiptoe around transgender people because we don't want to offend them. And I'm like, yo, if you want to be treated like any other human, I'm gonna dish it right back to you like I will to any other human. Like we need more people to just be comfortable, treat them like people. And if
It's
you
with
will
kid
curse
gloves.
somebody out, curse them out the same way.
Nobody does that.
Like just be
They
an
get treated
asshole.
with kid
If they're
gloves.
assholes, be assholes to them. Same shit. Like treat them normal, and then they cannot. And then we got to get to the point where we be like, yo, you just being an asshole. It is what it
I
is.
think that's the only group of adults that like gets treated with kid gloves. That is like whatever they do, we like can't really treat them like respond the same way like you would to everybody else. If not, most of the times that I've seen, it's been like a very big like like a big repercussion, a big like a cancellation. There's always something whenever somebody tries to defend themselves, or they get shit on if it's not somebody that's not famous. That if it's like this, they'll get shit on.
I just need to not be called sir, you know?
Thank you.
So you go to every
Will you call me
restaurant and prop
sir?
up your camera.
I just want to tell you that the person who gave me this called me sir. Called me sir. It's just
Oh,
like
pauses.
it kind
That's what I was gonna say. Now that they repeated the same thing. Is there anything? Because like I said, I don't know how this feels. There's nothing that somebody can say to me like at a restaurant like this that would pierce my heart the way that this person is describing that. Is there anything for you that you feel like would just feel like it's a stab in your heart, whatever it is?
Honestly, I think it's a stab in the heart because you made it that.
That's what I'm saying. Think
Like
about it.
it's
It doesn't have to be that, but think about it. A scenario that you feel like might feel like a stab in the heart for you.
no, I think it depends on under what circumstances. You get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I know, like if somebody if in a professional setting somebody's too informal, I'll be like, oh, this is weird. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think there's something you can do unless you're like legit. I don't know, talking about my kids or some shit that will probably just your words will make me stop and be. You know what I mean?
And like have to be like if
Yeah.
the waiter was to be like, yo, your son is something that's an insult. Then
Maybe a derogatory term of some sort, and maybe somebody can educate me on this. If you're trans, do you consider being misgendered as something derogatory, as somebody calling me, like a white person calling me the N-word or
But
like
that's
spick or some
purposeful.
shit like that.
Somebody calling you like the N word or the S word, whatever. Any of these like racial things, like purposefully like trying to offend you is one thing. Because I feel like all the people in this video are like it's are making
Yes,
mistakes because like
yes.
you said, this isn't something that's like a common. Like I've only ever met one person in my entire life that was like, oh, can you address me as a they them, and it was like a child or whatever. So I'm just like, okay. I gotta respect you, your parent. Like if your parent calls you this, then I'm whatever. Like you a child. I'm
Honestly, I
not
just
even gonna
ask you
talk
for
to
your
you
name.
anyway. So
I just be like, yo, what's your name? Literally, that's my
Well, that-
response. And like, you can be men, women. I will probably call you, yo, what's your name? Because honestly, it takes too much mental gymnastic for me to try to remember. And I'm gonna be transparent. English is my second language. They, them, grammatically makes absolutely no sense to me. Like it makes no sense. Like I cannot process it in my brain because every time I hear it, I think I'm talking of a group.
yeah, that's
And it throws me off. And you want me to talk to you, an individual, and call you a group of one. And then how does the verbs correlate? You
but
see,
I thought
like
it
that
wasn't a
throws me
group
off.
of one. I thought it was like when they them is like a combination of like a jambalaya.
I
Un
get it.
asopao.
No, but
I thought it was asopao.
no,
Like
you say that to one person. So in my mind, does that means that moving forward, I need to adapt my English to say, so normally, if I'm talking about a group of people and they say, and you're talking about them going to play baseball, they are going to play baseball,
yeah.
right? Does that mean if I'm talking about an individual, I need to start saying they is going to play baseball?
I think you would still do the same way. They are going to play baseball, but then it would just be one person.
But then that creates to me, it creates a weird confusion because I'm expecting a group of people to go play baseball.
Yes.
Like it creates this dilemma. Let's say if I'm a cop, for example, and or if I'm telling a story of a crime that I observe and a cop is asking me for information and I tell them they ran down the street, I'm assuming the cop is going to start looking for a group of people.
Yeah, but I think they would like it's gonna be like how you're saying that you're gonna have to be addressed by your name. It's just
I
gonna
feel
be
like this
I
shit
saw
just creates
John
more
running
confusion. It's
down the
almost
street.
like a trap to get you to trip on yourself. It's not any different than when people try to insert the concept of Latinx. And if you speak Spanish, that shit makes absolutely no sense because Spanish is a gendered language, period. You have to use O or A's at the end of certain words for them to make sense.
That's what Latinx stood for?
Yeah.
That shit did not stick. I don't know what I don't know too much.
Because anybody who spoke Spanish was like, what the fuck are you trying to say? That shit makes no sense. It was literally made up by people that barely spoke Spanish and they try to be politically correct to the craziness. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to include everybody. So instead of calling somebody by their Latino, Latina, I'm going to call them Latinx. And then talk to anybody who's Latino, Latina, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I thought Latinx was like all 20 something countries together in one. It's like, I don't know what the fuck. But even that doesn't really make sense.
That's what I mean. A lot of this stuff needs to be thought out in a way that makes sense. Honestly, it creates a lot of confusion. And most of these people, and this is a perfect example, do not want to necessarily offend. Most people, I don't go out there and try to offend anybody. And if I make a mistake and I apologize and you still act up like, yo, even though the apology is not good enough, then I'm going to be like, fuck this shit. What do you want me to do? I apologize. You don't want to take it? Like the employee did, want me to kick you out. You're creating almost a form of resentment from people that shouldn't even be there because you're pushing buttons beyond that are not there. What do you want them to do? You want them to stop?
I want this person to go into one of the kind of restaurants where the owner will be like, man, get the fuck out. They'll snap on you type shit. We're one of those people that are really turned up. That shit is the kind of owners that'll make me laugh.
Probably, but that's what I mean. This is one of those things that I'm like, have we gone too far with the wokeness? And I'm like somebody apologize. They're not trying to be offensive, and we need to be honest and be like, yo, some of this shit is confusing. To me, where English is not my first language, grammatically, some of it does not make sense. And my brain struggles because even if I translate it to Spanish and try to write it in Spanish, doesn't work. And they trying to do the same shit in Spanish where they're trying to say instead of él or ella, now you got to use ella, which
I barely know. I barely know any language. Honestly, period. Y'all messing me up. I don't know. I barely know English. I barely know Spanish, and then y'all adding some new middle shit. Come on, man.
But yeah,
You're messing it up.
like I'm like simplify it, and in moments like this,
3 bathrooms.
it's a quick moment for you to educate someone. Don't try to be mean in the process of doing it. It's like, yo, like next time don't say it, and give them an opportunity to maybe say it or not say it next time, instead of trying to be an asshole about it and call them out in a way that is only going to make them create a bit of animosity towards you that wasn't even there. It's like you're creating animosity towards yourself by someone that probably at that moment truly meant no harm. And then after you push them on it, they might have been like, you know what, this shit bugs you, so now I'm gonna do that shit on purpose. Which I think is what the Delta guy did. But yeah, I'm hammering too much on it. Just I'm gonna wrap it up there.
Make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know how you guys feel about this topic. Has the wokeness gone too far? It's spreading like a disease. It's everywhere. The airports, the TVs, it's everywhere, man. We can't escape it in America. Peace.